Chapter 7. The Letter to Room 13. On Saturday, Maddie spent the afternoon with Peggy. They were writing a letter to Wanda Pentrosky. It was just a friendly letter telling her the contest and telling Wanda that she had won. They told her how pretty her drawings were and that now they were studying about Winfield Scott in school. And they asked her if she liked where she was living now and if she liked her new teacher. They had meant to say they were sorry, but it ended up with their just writing a friendly letter, the kind they would have written to any good friend, and they signed it with lots of X's for love. They mailed the letter to Boggins Heights, writing, "Please forward," on the envelope. The teacher had not known where Wanda had moved, so their only hope was that the post office knew. The minute they dropped the letter in the mailbox, they both felt happier and more carefree. Days passed and there was no answer, but the letter did not come back, so maybe Wanda did receive it. Perhaps she was so hurt and angry she wasn't even going to answer. You couldn't blame her. And Maddie remembered the way she hitched her left shoulder up as she walked to school alone, and how the girls always said, "Why does her dress always hang funny like that? And why does she wear them weird shoes, high-laced and all?" They knew she didn't have any mother, but they hadn't thought about it. They hadn't thought that she had to do her own washing and ironing. She only had one dress, and she must have felt she had to wash it and iron it every night. Maybe sometimes it wasn't dry when it was time to put it on in the morning, but it was always clean. Several weeks went by, and still Wanda did not answer. Peggy had begun to forget the whole business, and Maddie put herself to sleep at night making speeches about Wanda, defending her from great crowds of girls who were trying to tease her with, "How many dresses did you say you got, girl?" Before Wanda could press her lips together in a tight line the way she did before answering, Maddie would cry out, "Stop! This girl is just a girl like you are." And then everybody would feel ashamed the way that she used to feel. Sometimes she rescued Wanda from a sinking ship or the hoofs of runaway horses. "Oh, that's all right," she'd say when Wanda thanked her. Now it was Christmas time, and there was snow on the ground. Christmas bells and a small tree decorated the classroom. In one narrow blackboard, Jack Bagels had drawn a jolly fat Santa Claus in red-white chalk. On the last day of school before the holiday, the children in Peggy's class had a Christmas party. The teacher's desk was rolled back and a piano was rolled in. First, the children had acted out a story of Tiny Tim. Then they had sung songs, and Cecily did some dances in different costumes. The dance called Passing of Autumn, in which she whirled and spun like a red and golden autumn leaf, was her favorite. After the party, the teacher said she had a surprise, and she showed the class a letter she had received in the morning. Guess who this is from? You remember Wanda Pentrosky? The bright little artist who won the drawing contest? Well, she has written me, and I'm glad to know where she lives now because I can send her her medal. And I hope it gets there before Christmas. And I want to read this letter to you. The class sat up and had a sudden interest and listened intently to Miss Mason as she read the letter. Dear Miss Mason, how are you in room 13? Please tell the girls they can keep those 100 dresses because in my house, my new house, I have 100 new dresses all lined up in my closet. I like that Peggy girl to have the drawing of the green dress with the red trimming, and her friend Maddie to have the blue one. And for Christmas, I miss that school and my new teacher, for it does not equalize with you. Merry Christmas to you and everybody. Yours truly, Wanda Pentrosky. The teacher passed the letter around the room and everybody got to see it. It was pretty, decorated with a picture of a Christmas tree lit up in the night park surrounded by high buildings. On the way home from school, Maddie and Peggy held their drawings very carefully. They had stayed late to help straighten up after the play, and it was getting dark. The houses looked warm and inviting, with wreaths and holly lighted, and with leaves and holly and lit trees in their windows. Outside the grocery stores, hundreds of Christmas trees were stacked, and in the window, candy peppermint canes and cornucopias of shiny, bright, transparent paper were strung. The air smelled like Christmas, and bright lights everywhere reflected different colors on the snow. "The colors are like the colors of Wanda's dresses," said Maddie. "Yes," said Peggy, holding the drawing out and taking a look at it under the street lamp. And boy, this shows us she really liked us. It shows she did get our letter, and this is her way of saying everything's all right. And that's that, she said with finality. Peggy felt happy and relieved. It was Christmas, and everything was fine. I hope so, said Maddie sadly. She felt sad because she knew she would never see the little tight-lipped Polish girl again, and she could never really make things right between them. She went home and she pinned her drawing over her torn place in the pink-flowered wallpaper in the bedroom. The shabby room came alive with bright brilliancy of the colors. Maddie sat down on the edge of her bed and looked at the drawing. She had stood by and said nothing, but Wanda had been nice to her. Tears blurred her eyes, and she gazed for a long time at the picture. Then hastily she rubbed her eyes and studied it intently. The colors in the dress were so vivid she had scarcely noticed the face and the head of the drawing. But it looked like her. Like Maddie. It really did. The same short blonde hair, blue eyes, and wide straight mouth. Why, it really looked like her own self. Wanda had drawn a picture of her for herself. Wanda drew her. In her excitement, she ran over to Peggy's. Peg, let me see your picture. What's the matter? Asked Peggy, as she clambered up the stairs to grab her picture. Maddie carefully lifted it up. Look, she drew you. That's you, she exclaimed, and the head and the face of the picture did look like the auburn-haired Peggy. What did I say? Said Peggy. She must have really liked us anyway. She must have, said Maddie, and she blinked away the tears that came every time she thought of Wanda standing alone in the sunny spot in the schoolyard, close to the wall, looking stolidly over to the group of laughing girls after she had walked off, after she had said, sure, 100 dresses, all lined up. The end.